position. So Franchesca Ross Jones, please say something to the group and let them know a little bit more about you, please, ma'am.
Hey, ladies. Hey. So, you guys have been emotionally cleansed this morning. How exciting is this summit? Ladies, where have you seen here lately a group, this many women get together and offer you so much empowerment, so much knowledge? I have to give a shout out to Angela because this is amazing. I mean, amazing. You know, one thing I definitely believe, ladies, is that empowered women empower women. That's how we become empowered. And one of the things that I've noticed with most women is, you know, we like to hide behind or shy away from that financial empowerment side. And so today, I want us to just be real, pull back some of just all the things that are weighing heavy on you when it comes to your finances. And just kind of navigate, hey, how do I become financially empowered? How do I really become that boss? You know, everybody wants to be a boss nowadays. Everybody wants to own a business. Everybody wants to lead. They want a house. They want a car. You know, they want to drive the snazzy car, live in the nice house. But hey, all that comes at a price. So that's kind of what I want to get into today, guys. And y'all have to forgive me. I am a nerd for sure. I speak a lot. And so one of the things that I've noticed with people is that they're visual. Some people are visual learners. So I'm going to share my screen because I did come up with a PowerPoint for you guys so that we can go through. I want to hit on some things. I don't want to miss anything because, you know, I got to check you guys too who are married or in these relationships or thinking you want to be in these relationships about how that's supposed to go too.
When it comes together, look, get us together. Yes.
All right, let's see here if I can share my screen, guys. All right, so can you guys see that?
Boom, you better go ahead on and share that screen, girl, with that piggy bank on the side. Yay, love it.
All right, so who am I, guys? I'm a serial entrepreneur, a philanthropist, motivational speaker, author. Angela said I'm a certified tax pro, board certified credit consultant. I'm a notary. I'm a business consultant, educator, mentor, mom, wife, daughter, sister, friend. So all of the amazing things that you guys are as well. How did I get to this place? Trust me, are you the wife, the mom, the sister, the woman who you always looking out for everybody else? You have that girlfriend who you know she's not going to pay her bills, but you feel obligated to co-sign for her because she really wants this new car? Are you the sister in the family that everybody comes to because they need help? Well, today, I'm going to help you guys get yourself together, get your mindset right, because guess what? If you don't take care of you, you can't take care of them, right? That's so important. So financial literacy, guys, it doesn't happen by magic. As adults, we're expected to understand, manage, and make intelligent decisions about our budgets, our credit, saving for retirement, taxes, our relationship with money in general, right? But we didn't learn these things in school. They don't teach it to our children in school. And let's be real, how many of you guys are actually having a conversation at home with your kids, right? About finances, especially our young women, okay?
Yes.
I'm on a mission to change that. So everywhere I go, anyone I meet, anyone God gives me the opportunity to come into contact with, I want to embrace, empower, and elevate every single person I come into contact with. And that includes young adults, kids, teens, because I'm a mom. So that's important to me, right? We should be financially independent. We shouldn't be ashamed because our credit score is not 700. Our credit score is not 800. Our credit score is not 600. Guess what? Life happens to everybody. If it hadn't happened to you yet, trust me, it will. As long as you're living and you're breathing, it's going to happen. So what do we do when it happens? When Angela came to me, she said, hey, I want to do this summit. COVID-19 is going on. And I just think we need to get together as women and empower each other. Empowerment. I started thinking about what is empowerment? So my definition of empowerment, I feel is compelling at best. It's the process of becoming stronger and more confident, especially in controlling one's life and claiming one's rights. Financially, taking responsibility and control of your money is one big step as a woman to feeling empowered. You know, it's rough to be in a relationship or want to even start navigating towards a relationship and you don't feel empowered. It's rough when your kids grow up and they get ready to start navigating this journey that we call life and you don't feel empowered in that area to help your kids, to help your niece, to help your nephew, to help your girlfriend, right? One of the things that I find when I speak to women, personally or professionally, is I like to ask the question, what is your financial identity, your financial attitude, or your financial personality? So I have 4 that I think most people fall into. Are you a day-to-day decision maker? Are you an ambitious spender? Are you a retirement realist? Are you a confident planner? So I want you ladies to be thinking about that. Which one of those are you? I feel your financial identity, attitude, and or personality have the power to dictate how much you spend and save, how you manage debt, how much money you give away, and your ability to invest with confidence. Ladies, we got to be confident in our finances. We got to be confident. We've got to be confident. This is my common sense money mindset. My actions create constant prosperity. Good money management is a form of self-love. I am 100% responsible for my own happiness and freedom. Are your spending behaviors jiving with your savings intentions? I'm trying to figure that out. Let's be real.
Keep it real for real. Yes, look, you out here balling out, baby, and don't have anything saved. So yes, we got to be real with that one.
Right. I want y'all to be real with me. Everyone who was fortunate enough to receive the stimulus and all this other good stuff, or it's on the way, have you already decided how to just get rid of that money? Because, I talk to people and I'm like, how are y'all spending money? Because y'all can't go outside. But hey, online shopping is popping right now. That's what I that's what I hear, Angela.
Right. It's popping, baby.
It's popping. So I think we need to get to a place where we are less concerned with what's popping and more concerned with what's profitable. That's where I'm at. Okay.
Look, yes, Eugenia. Look, y'all give it up in the chat because y'all know we always want to be popping, but at the end of the day, we need to be profitable. Not when we are trying to be empowered, and that's really what the whole thing is about. Because for so much time we have wasted out here trying to pop off and show off and be all there for everybody, so they can say that's tight, that's right, and we still broke. Not today, baby. We making changes up in this thing. You hear me?
Sis, you better say that. You better say
when
that.
they say you look like $1 million, let's make sure that they say and know that that backs it matches. Look,
it matches. Right. It lines up, right? So
absolutely.
I think with women, a lot of our issue is fear. So how do I move past this 500 credit score? How do I move past this bankruptcy? How do I move past this divorce? How do I move past this bad relationship, this being a single mom, trying to make ends meet? And a lot of times, what our issue is? Fear. Fear. Inaction.
Inaction, yes. I do 100% agree with that. Absolutely. We'll sit on some stuff for years thinking like I'm going to get it together, and then you run around here trying to do everything for everybody and neglect this part of your life. So yes, that's good.
Yes, you're scared. You're scared to step out on faith. When at the end of the day, I just said, you are 100% responsible for you. Not your children. They're going to grow up and they're going to leave you behind at home. Not your husband. Because guess what? He gonna be a man. And sometimes, even though he is the leader, he's the head, and we're supposed to be that helpmate, sometimes you gotta, as a woman, learn how to shift that thing and let him think he's leading in everything. But you putting that in his ear, baby, because the finances, y'all got to be on the same path, one accord, in order to get to where you are going. What is you guys' financial legacy that you're trying to leave for your children, that
Oh,
you're
that's
building
good.
for yourself? So, hey, I know I don't wake up every day to work just to be working and not be working towards something. You got to
Mm,
always have some goals, ladies. You got to have some goals.
that's
So,
good. And Francesca, let me say this. Kim says sometimes it is fear of success too, fear of the unknown or fear of failing.
that's it, Kim. It's definitely fear of success, fear of, but let me tell you this, Kim. What's the alternative? Hey, I'm a full time entrepreneur, ladies, by the grace of God. Is it an easy walk? No, definitely not. But what was my alternative? I was sitting in corporate America and I had made a decision. In my last position, I said, well, I'm sitting here and I'm building this brand, I'm building this company. I said, and they are using me to their advantage, but I'm not excelling. I don't see where this is taking me to the next level. So the choice was, do I go this way and go into my business full time, or do am I stagnated and scared and fearful and I stay here and just continue to let the cycle continue on? Eugenia just talked about emotional wellness. I wasn't emotionally well, sitting there in that situation. So guess what I did? I decided to step out on faith. And baby, God has not failed me yet. He's never failed me. I was failing myself. I finally decided to do something that I should have done, and all the clues were there. He gave it to me, but I was still, you know how we do. Oh, I hear you, God, but I need to wait. I gotta wait until this happens. I gotta wait until we do that. I need to do this. I need to do that. No, it was just time. Fear will keep you in bondage. Fear will
Mm,
keep you from not being successful in life. People who are not successful are all the people who you see them, they're all over the place. They won't stay consistent and stick with anything and believe in themselves enough to know that if you stay with it, if you give it what it needs, just like you do your baby, it's your baby. I'm telling you, it will turn out to be amazing. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but that's what's wrong with us. We're fearful. We're fearful we can be the next millionaire. We're fearful
mm.
we can be the next
Speak.
talk show host, the next lawyer, the next doctor, the next New York Times bestseller. Hey, we fearful. We got to
Hmm.
get out of that. Everybody, somebody needs to hear your story. And for me, my story really came from me being a single mother. Guys, I have had a house foreclosed, I've had a car repossessed, I've done all that. I've had all the credit cards, maxed them out when I was younger. I had kids, I was a single mom, so I'm just trying to compensate for things that I think they need because they're not in a two-parent home, all this stuff. And it got me nowhere. Let me tell you, because when you keep ignoring the financial problem, eventually it's going to come to a head. And if you don't decide to have a relationship with your money going to decide to have a relationship with you. And you never want it to be that way, because it's always going to be something that is going to be so heavy on you. And that's not a
Mm.
good way to live, because guess what? Your children feed off of it. Your relationships suffer for it. When you're stressed all the time behind money, people see it on you. You can try to
Hmm.
cover it up, but people see it on you. There's always something about you that says, "Hey, something's not right over there." I can't put my finger on it, but something's not right. So I made a decision. I help everybody else. Let me get my life together. Let me get my act together. Why don't I have a credit card that has a 20, 30, $40,000 limit? Why I don't have to go out and buy a 2020. But if I wanted to, can I go and buy a 2020 and get that 2.9% APR? If I want to go buy my husband a car, can I go buy him a car without him coming to sign one piece of paper and just walk in there and walk out and not spend 8 hours at the car dealership? So those were the things that I started thinking about. And then I had sons who were growing up, and what do I want their relationship to be with money? Do I want them to think that it's okay to go out, you're young, get all these credit cards, run them up, and then what? No. So it took me taking a real I had to be real with myself and look at my life. And coming back to where we were going next, the empowerment plan of action. You have to have a plan of action to be an empowered woman financially. I'm telling you.
That's good. That's
I'm telling
good.
you. If you don't have a plan of action, you are in trouble. You in some big trouble, guys. So I think a wealthy woman has a couple of qualities. And Angela, I want you to tell me what you think about these qualities.
All
Um,
right.
I think harmony, balance, courage, generosity, happiness, wisdom, cleanliness, and beauty are all traits of a wealthy woman. And I'm not talking about just in finances, I'm talking about in general, a
And
wealthy woman.
yes, yes,
A
absolutely.
wealthy woman, a wealthy woman.
Yes, because people get it kind of twisted when thinking about wealth, that it's always got to do with money. But at the end of the day, there is more to wealth than just your finances. You got to be wealthy
Right,
in your spirit. You got to be wealthy in your mentality. You got to be wealthy in your relationships. It's a lot that goes with it. So I'm glad you clarified that.
exactly. And my thing is, we don't like to talk about that. And I don't
Mm-mm.
know why. I don't know why. I don't know why we don't
Girl,
like
it's
to.
them beliefs from when we were kids, and your parents would be like, money don't grow on trees, or and y'all think about it. It's a lot of things that you were taught being
Yeah,
young that you just grow up and think that's how it is.
yeah,
So if somebody is always telling you when you go to the store, don't get in here and ask for something, don't go out here and do that. You already know you're not gonna get that. Put that back. I don't have enough money for that. And
yeah,
it's not the fact that we don't that they may not could have got it, but just because you hear that all the time, you go to a store now and you may have money, but you'll say, girl, I don't know, I better not get that, or,
yes,
it's so many different things yes, Kim, money mindset. Your money mindset is not
yes,
programmed for
yes,
wealth. You know what I'm saying?
yes,
So if you have a poor mindset, everything that you do is going to be against or out of alignment with creating wealth.
right. So,
Yes, Latanya said she found herself saying those same things to her kids when they were young. Yes, I
we
mean it's so clear
are.
because you hear it, so you just repeat it. You just like, y'all get somewhere to sit down because I'm not buying all that. No, we don't take all that, or or don't waste this food because people in other areas of the country, they don't have food to waste like that. Eat all this up. It's so much, so we take ourselves away from an abundance mindset to a poverty mindset, and then it makes it harder to attract because money should flow. Money's a currency. It's
Yes.
supposed to flow, baby, with ease. So
All
we've got to start switching it. So come on, Francesca, bring it to us, girl.
at all times. So in this plan of action, ladies, because this is homework for you guys. Like I want everybody who's on this session, or if you see this session later in this replay, you have got to have a plan of action. If you don't have a plan of action, today is the day, this weekend, to write your plan of action out. First, let's talk about protecting ourselves. What do we talk about when we talk about protecting ourselves? First of all, every one of us should have started or have established an emergency fund. We hear people say, oh, that should be $1,000. If $1,000 is not somewhere you can start, ladies, start with 500. I want you moving towards a goal. When you get to 500, then you move towards 1,000. When you get to the 1,000, you need to be doubling that and doubling that and doubling that. Because guess what an emergency is? An emergency is what we see now. COVID-19, a
Mm-hmm.
worldwide global pandemic,
Mm.
a crisis all over the world. So many people are, financially in such dire situations, losing jobs. A lot of companies just shut down. People don't have a job to go back to. How are you supposed to deal with that? Especially when you have no planning, no foundation, nothing like that going on. Because life is gonna happen. Who would have predicted that we would have seen what we are still seeing, at this time, during this time? Nobody. So that's one of those things we got to think about. Protecting ourselves, building your emergency fund, considering life insurance. How many people have life insurance? You don't have to go out and have a large quantity of life insurance. You can start small, but you do need to be concerned with, if something happens to me, if something happens to my spouse, if something happens to my children, can't I put them away without seeking the help of others.
Without a gonna say it without a GoFundMe account.
Money.
Yes, because GoFundMe is
Yes.
not cute. You know what I'm saying? When you out here
Mm.
and because you haven't prepared for that. And so
Yes.
many families, and I know that, things happen and sometimes you're put in that position, but this is a conversation so that we don't have to be in that position. So that instead of everybody putting money in, we already have something set up that takes care of that. And it can be done, for a minimal amount. But I will share this. My baby started working at Wellstar, and so they were going through her benefits package, and she was able to get, I believe, for like $46 a month, a $96,000 insurance policy.
That's a
So the
blessing.
lady was just like, baby, I wish I could, because as you get older, it's going to
It's
be more.
more.
And
Yes.
so encourage your children. One thing
Yes.
that I have made a decision is that because I ran out here and went to college, and baby, they had all them credit cards and everything available, and I was like, sign me up with no knowledge of what credit cards and all that things was, and no job to pay for them, even the
Right.
minimum balance. So I
Right.
got myself caught up in some things that I'm trying to be extremely mindful with my daughters about.
That's right.
Don't just sign up for a credit card because the store said they're going to give you 10% off. Baby, that's
That's
nothing.
right.
It's not worth it, and being able to speak about those things.
That's right. That is so empowering as a mom, how that makes you feel great, because
Yes.
me as a mom, like I stay on the boys and I'm like, hey, so we even they're friends. So we have these conversations because
Hmm.
if you're not having a conversation with them, you definitely don't want people in the streets having a conversation with them about money.
Thank you. To my saving money, because a lot of people don't have that same mindset
No,
about money. They're like, it's a little song,
it's
spend
for
a
me to
dollar, get it
spend.
right back. It's okay. That sounds cute. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yep.
I done been a girl, spend a dollar, get it right back. Yes,
Yes.
but at the same time, when something happens, like you said, your refrigerator goes out or your car breaks down,
Yes.
those are things that require you to have money.
Some kind of
And
money. That's
exactly.
right.
Kim says our relationship to money is so important to examine. It can be mind blowing, but it is very important to be real about it with ourselves. Absolutely. You've
Damn,
got
you are
you
so
got to be
right.
right with yourself and true to yourself before anybody else. Period.
Before anybody else, and people don't think about that. you know Also, I think about, how many of you ladies have created those must have documents? So I talk to people all the time, and I think that's something we lack. We don't like to talk about or think about life happening. So
Hmm.
if I were to get sick today or tomorrow, I do have a journal where I have all passwords written down, things that are important and of essence, to my children, to my husband, because how are they supposed to help you or continue on with what you have going when they don't know where to start? They don't have an idea, right? You've left no blueprint. We have all this free time, and we focus on things that, to me, they just are essential. And that was my mind. It is a mindset. It's a shift. A lot of
Hmm.
people don't think about things like that. So you see people get sick. People don't know what they're supposed to do. People get terminally ill. People pass away. People get in a car wreck. You know, you don't know. You have to start programming your mind to do these things so that your children see you as well and they know
Hmm.
what to
To
do.
not be fearful. And I think a lot of times as people, we're just fearful, even though, even when everybody got to die. It's not an option. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You're going to go
We
at
going.
some point in time,
That's
but
right.
we just kind of feel like, okay, I don't want to deal with that. And I think as a society, we push too many things to the back and think that we have time to deal with it. Well, when somebody else has to come in and go through your things and look for what you have and see where this stuff is and get,
How to,
all messed up, or find out that, you think, okay, well, I got money in the bank. So when I die, the kids to be okay. And then they get in there and find out that, they've taken it to probate and they
there
may not
you
have what you
go.
think they're going to have,
There
so
you
you
go.
have to really understand that just because you think it's set up, don't just think it, know it, take
Know
the steps
it.
to know that you've got things in order, because I'm telling you, as much as you want to put your head in the sand and not deal with it, peace of mind knowing that it is done supersedes
Yes,
all that.
it
I
does.
promise you, once you get it done, you'll be like, oh my God, so glad that's one thing I
So
don't have to worry about.
right. That's one thing off my list. Oh my goodness, sis. That whole probating. Oh, I lived through that for like some years with my husband, with my father-in-laws. property because none of the kids want anything to do with it. And like you said, people feel like, oh, they're gone, I can just take this money and do it. No, you cannot. It does not work like that. Because
Yeah, you're that divvying up. Y'all take this right here. We're gonna get this right here, and then the people come back and say, "Excuse me, where's all this stuff at? Bring that back because
right,
we
y'all
got to
owe us,
satisfy this over here." Yes.
y'all
And
owe
y'all
us
know we fight over so much. I mean, to be honest with you, so many people, when somebody passes away, the number one thing you hear is about the family fighting over what
money.
is remaining. If you
Yes,
put a will in place, then
that's right. It removes
it
a
removes
lot of
that
things.
foolishness. Yes, it
Yeah,
removes the foolishness.
yeah, because you have to probate that estate in order for those creditors, to have the opportunity to say, hey, y'all owe us money. We want y'all to sell. We want some of that money out the bank. Your mother owed us money. Your father owed us money.
Hmm.
Life. It's the law. And people don't, like you said, we're not educated. We're not educated.
Yeah,
So
because you think just because that's your dad, it don't mean that that's your money.
that's
You know what I'm saying? Or that
right.
somebody else won't come up and contest it. I mean, you just look at Prince for a prime example,
Yes.
with his situation and people just thinking, oh, well, he got all kind of money. Well, it's people out here who are vultures and could care less that you're
About
somebody's
his money.
child.
That's
If
right.
they feel like they can get it, they're going to diminish what you thought was a lasting legacy. So before it gets to that point, and the funny thing about it is, we all see, and I'm just as guilty as everybody else. We see things and you think, oh my God, that's horrible, and still don't address your problem. Or you think that, girl, I ain't got nothing, somebody get it, girl, they ain't getting nothing anyway. You still have to get in the mindset of putting things in order, because it's very devastating for your loved ones to have to deal with you being gone to begin with.
And
To
then
add to that, the pressure and
and
stress of
issues.
this
Yeah.
money, or to somebody that came from the woodworks that y'all don't even hardly talking about, well, what's going on, and well, this is what you should do, and everybody got advice, and it's people who don't have anything at all, but they are the ones that
Telling
want to
people
give you advice. So
all
yes,
the time.
absolutely.
All the time. I am in total agreement. Um, we want to spend smart, guys. So my thing is live below your means, but within your needs, right? So below your means, you don't have to go out here and try to keep up. I am a Jones, guys, and the only person I'm trying to keep up with is me. I
Keeping
ain't
up with
trying
the
to keep up with
Joneses.
nobody else. Yes, like I tell people all the time, we're not those Joneses. When we see people, we not that couple. Cause I tell my husband, like he is upset about that. Men, oh, let's go buy you a car. We're not going to buy no car in this pandemic. I don't know where this economy going. I'm sorry. I don't need a car. Can you just go and do whatever the mechanic said to this one out here? Because there's a lot of them outside I could drive. It's just a car. But that wasn't always me. So
Exactly. What you say, it takes time to get to that position,
yes,
because
yeah,
everybody wants to be, everybody wants to compare and think
the
that,
next
and
person.
and to be honest with you, it is a certain stigma with certain people that, oh, well, girl, they ain't driving nothing, they're not living nothing, you know what I'm saying? They're not doing anything. But you know what? We have got to shift in how we see things, because it's much better to drive a 10-year-old car and have $100,000+ in the bank than to drive a $90,000 car and you got an overdraft. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and it's the reality, really.
Right. So on that buying a car thing, if you can, ladies, you need to get that loan that you're getting for 36 to 48 months. I don't recommend you guys getting these 60, 72, 80-month loans, because guess what? That car gonna tear up. You're gonna be out of warranty before then. And 9 times out of 10, I see this every day in my profession. I'm gonna see it on your credit because they done came and picked it up, and you done told them to come pick it up because you owe $17,000 on it. You've been paying on it for 5 years. It been towed up,
You don't
and
even like the car no more. You be like, get on, I can't stand
you
this car.
tired. You tired, and
I'm
you
tired of it, girl. I want to push it
upside
over a
down.
cliff.
Right, you upside down, and the motor that went out. So who you gonna trade
Hmm.
it for the 7?
Nobody.
Nobody. And 9 times out of 10, you struggling with your credit. That's how you got into that long loan with that
Hmm.
high rate, and that's why the balance is still that high. So you're not gonna even be able to go trade it
Hmm.
and be able to not be so upside down, and you already in a high
Exactly.
payment. So just sometimes it's okay to just wait. Just wait.
Hmm.
Cars, guys, when you drive a car off the lot, it depreciates just like that. I'm not buying nobody.
Before you can hit the curve good to the street, baby. It's, oh, look, isn't it?
Yes, and
Came
then
on down.
you upset, and a lot of people I find that too. They don't have any gap insurance, so like I say, they get in them long term loans with them high interest rates, and when that car get hit and the insurance only want to pay so much, gap don't come in and clear. So guess what?
Mm-mm.
Still owe. So we
Stuck like Chuck Boo.
problem. That's it. We got to think about that. And like you just pointed out, that was one of my other points. Why not drive your car that's 10 years old, whatever, whatever? See, let me tell y'all how different I'm built. I told my husband, told me, I think that was like a year ago, I talked about this at Eugenia's conference. Well, we need to go buy you this and that because it's all about your image because you're doing this, you're doing that. I said, no, it's not. I said, my image is they should look at me and say, well, dang, I need to listen to this lady because she's pretty doggone smart. I said, I don't want a BMW, a whatever. I don't even know what kind of car it was he was talking about. Maybe an Audi or something. I said, well, we can go to the auction and you can buy it. You could drop $20,000 or $30,000 on it for me, and I can ride like that, and we can have the title. That's when I want it. I said, because then that's when we have really arrived. So we're not there yet, boo boo. So he's like,
Sorry. And ladies, y'all know, I mean, the thing about it is this is something that we deal with all the time. And it's not an overnight change. It's a
no,
process. It's a thought process. So please
yes,
don't feel beat up about on or anything because I've
no.
been there, done that, still in it to a certain extent.
Once you get
And it's okay. But what they say,
move
when you
on
know
from
better,
it.
do better.
Yeah, because once you get out of that situation with that car, you're gonna be like, Lord, I don't want that stress no more. Y'all, I'm
Mm-mm.
telling you, I've been there, done it. I just told y'all I had a car repossessed in my younger days.
Baby, you don't even want to answer the phone. You be like, what?
Why
Kenneth
these
ain't calling me
folks
about this car.
right? There you go.
Yes.
There you go. Another one, buying a home. Are you ready to buy a house, guys? So you got to think about, am I ready to buy this house? Can you afford it? Don't listen to other people because you go and you go to get qualified and they say, oh, you can afford this. You know what you got going on. Just because it's not reflected on your credit report don't mean you're not obligated to other stuff. So stop doing it. Stop being overly obligated all around when you have already obligated yourself to pay your child's rent or you helping your mother or whatever it is that you decided to do and make an obligation to do so. Now you want to buy this house and they looking at your stuff and like, oh, she can afford it, but your behind cannot afford it. Get some of that other stuff off your back, transition some of that before you jump out there. Don't listen to people. For you ladies who are in the market to buy a home, mortgage companies have what is called a program. It's called Rapid Rescore, and they're not going to tell you about it, but they can tell you what's sitting there on the credit, whether you've gone through the restoration process, you're doing it yourself, or you just don't know where to start. You can ask that question. They're not going to tell you when you go in. I promise y'all they're not. So I told you guys today. So you can ask about Rapid Rescore. And what happens is it's kind of where there's a go between you, the underwriter, and the credit bureau. So what they do is they look at the credit. They tell you, hey, you got to pay this off. You've got to pay. If it's a collection, if it's a credit card, you got to pay this down to this, or you got to pay this off. And they go and they update. They have the credit bureaus update everything they need updated so that they can go ahead and get you into that loan instead of you not knowing where to go, where to start, where to begin, because 9 times out of 10 you don't. And did you ladies know, besides the 3 major bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, there is a fourth, a fourth bureau that's important to you guys? It's called Alove. And when you guys go to start looking or think you want to purchase a home and you say, oh, I didn't restore my credit, or oh, I didn't pay my credit cards down, and boom, they go and pull that Novus report, and you thought your score was a 688, was your mid score, and they go pull a Novus and they said, oh no, you got a 582 and you want to have a stroke out. You got to look across. It's so much that goes into it. So do the work before just saying, oh, I'm going to go and do this. And there's a lot of ways you can buy a house. Of course, they have the rent to own. They have a lot of options, but you've got to figure out what is the best way for you. What type of mortgage? A 15-year mortgage, a 25-year mortgage, a 30-year mortgage. What's best for you and your situation? You can't focus on what's best for other people. A lot of us have kids who are college age. What's best for you when it comes to your kids and going to school? You know, you've gone to school. What can you do to help them? We got to think about that. What's my responsibility? You know, what type of loans can they take out? Don't put yourself in a position where your children, I guess where you kind of make your kids suffer, because we go through life and we say, oh, I'm going to take money out of my retirement to put them through school. And then you get older and, you know, you've put most of your retirement into their schooling, and, you know, you get older. What if that kid doesn't decides, oh, I don't want to be a doctor anymore? Just an example. And now you've gotten older and you're like, wait a minute, I don't have enough money to live, you know, off of my retirement. So then now your kids, well, it depends on the type of child you have, but I know me as a child, I would feel like obligated. I need to help my mama. I need to help my daddy because they sacrificed for me. So we got to think about how we're moving as opposed to what everybody else is doing. You know, encourage your kids if they can get scholarships, if they can get Pell Grants, things like that. Keep that student loan debt as low as you possibly can. You guys see what's going on now. These people don't want to forgive. They trying to hold on to that student loan money like it's
What you talking about? Jill, as a matter of fact, Jill says she struggles between saving for herself, getting her credit score up, putting more funds to debt versus her son's college, and she started very late saving for herself.
I totally understand. So let me tell you guys, when you talk about retirement, you know, you have to look at the workplace IRAs versus things you can do on your own, right? Or workplace retirement, whatever they have going versus what you can do. For me, I tell anybody you should I think you should move to try to save at least 10% of your salary. You guys may think that sounds hard, but think about how hard this sounds for me. Because I don't have nobody. If I don't do it, it don't get done. I don't have no help. I don't have no job. But they can take it out before I get my paycheck. So if I can discipline myself, and it doesn't matter if you 10% is just a good place, I think, that you could start depending on where you are. But if you're not at that 10%, you work yourself up. You have to just find ways to be able to do so, even if that means, okay, how can I generate additional streams of income? Let's talk about that a little bit. All this shopping y'all doing, go in your closets right now and go on and open you an online consignment, because y'all be so sharp. Hair be laid, y'all be having the finest
Hair done, nails done, everything did. We fancy, huh? Y'all remember that?
right, y'all be fly. So, you know, hey, online consignment. Do y'all know how many women would love to dress like you guys and they can't afford it? Not just going into the door to the store to do so. So that's a way to generate some additional income. But once again, when you generate additional, we're not generating income for y'all to spend. Remember, we talk about we're going to spend less, save more. So that means we're either positioning ourselves to get out of debt or positioning ourselves to be saving that extra money. If you're a stay-at-home mom or you don't work, you may not be, it may not even be any kids at home, but you don't work. You could get a spousal IRA. You know, as women, we've got to start thinking about us too. So not just, oh, well, my husband's saving for retirement and all that, because, hey, how many women are on here today with us and they said, hey, you know, I did the marriage thing, it didn't work out, and I had to start all over. So we've got to always, you know, my grandma used to tell me and my cousin that we were little girls. I forget how the saying she said, you know, they used to have the best things the way they say them, and it didn't make sense to me when I was a little girl, but now in my 41st year, I understand what she was saying. So we've got to think about ourselves. If you're over 50, at this point, you need to start thinking about and estimating, what is it? What does it take? What will it take for you to make it, per se? Not just, oh, what's my annual salary? You know what you make every year, right? So if you late getting started in the game, well, what will it take for me to make it? Because it's some people who they think they're saving for retirement and they run out of money, maybe in year 3.
That's hard.
Yeah, sometimes you need that additional stream of income just to start preparing yourself for retirement, guys. The fourth thing, giving to others. We talked a lot about that. we always find as women, we're nurturers, we're givers. So we find ourselves giving to family, giving to the children, giving to the nieces, the nephews, whoever. But are you guys as committed to yourself as you are to everybody else? When you get
Ooh,
paid, you pay
that's
yourself?
good.
Or do you just say, oh, when my baby want to play softball, I got to give my last $60 to this, and that? We got to change our mindset. Do
That's
you
good.
know if you would change your mindset? Some of it is just little things. We talk about how to save. We want to save for our baby's college and this and that. How many times are we just lazy and we don't want to make our lunch because we got our last $10 and because we in the clique at work, we want to go out to lunch with our last $10 that we know we probably gonna need because we living paycheck to paycheck. We gonna link up. Some of y'all gonna link up with me and we're gonna get you off that paycheck to paycheck mentality because I don't care what you got going out and what you got coming in. I bet you we can figure out a plan of action to get you away from that. We've got to stop doing that. When you make dinner at night, go on and get that Tupperware out and fix that plate and put in the refrigerator. When you pack up them leftovers, that's your lunch for the next day. Do y'all know if you save, y'all probably spending a minimum of $50 a week eating out just from work. I'm not even talking about when you eating out with the family and with the kids. Y'all probably gonna save so much money over the last 2 months having y'all behinds at home, having to cook, that it's ridiculous. So that's money. That's what I'm saying to you guys. It doesn't matter if it's $25, $50, $60. It's money. It's money. It's tangible. So we got to start thinking about that. Being committed, being intentional. Eugenia talked about being intentional. I'm one of those people. I'm an affirmation person, baby. I write it down. I make me posters. They be stuck all in my mirror, honey. And when I click off one goal, I take my sticky off my mirror. Write it down, read it, execute it. We've got to be intentional in what we are doing. We've got to be intentional. A way you can, I've had a lot of people during COVID asking me, saying, they're lowering my credit line on my credit card. I haven't been really using it, but they may have other credit cards where they're almost maxed out, So we never want to be maxing out our cards, but now credit card companies are fearful because of everything going on with the economy, this major shift. So they're lowering credit limits. When they lower your credit limit, that does do something to your utilization. It does something to your debt to income. If I'm sitting out there looking at, well, dang, you owe this. You may have had a $5,000 line on that credit card. They dropped it to $2,500 and your balance is $1,987. So you got problems. You owe $1,987 where you used to have a limit of $5,000. Now it's $2,500. You well beyond 50%, not to mention 30% of utilization. So what I advise you guys to do is don't be fearful of having a credit card. Take a bill. We all have monthly recurring bills. You have car insurance. You have utilities. Put that bill on that credit card and take that money you're going to pay towards that bill and pay it towards the credit card. So guess what? They see you using that credit responsibly. They will probably raise your credit line eventually, but you're killing two birds with one stone, right? So moving smart. And I don't think we think about that a lot of times. I think we just we get barked down, we get fearful, and we don't even think about how can I navigate this. And we get to our wind downtown, Angela, but I did want to hit on moving into these finances and relationships. So
Okay.
that's major. Like,
Absolutely.
you having a conversation, right? You need to have a collaborative effort with your honey about how you're spending, why you're spending, and where you're spending. You need to have them conversations with these men before you be talking about, oh, I'm so in love and I want to get married. You need to be comfortable talking about this credit stuff. And guess what? Let me tell you why you ain't comfortable. Because you out here living a life and got this mask on, and we're going to change all that. You need to
Come on, Franchesca.
have to improve in you so you feel confident about coming to him saying, well, hey, I want to know what you got going on. This is what I have going on, but I'm proud of myself because I'm working toward this. Because when you are on a path toward progression and they're on a path toward progression with you, y'all gonna win together. But if they ain't on no path toward progression and you trying to do this with your credit and all this other stuff, it's gonna go left. It's gonna go left real fast. And you could be so in love and you want to keep on pushing aside that, well, I know his credit score is, I know he not intentional. But if you know that your goals are, I want this house, right? I want to save. If you shifted your mindset and his is not shifting, you're not going to change him, just like he's not going to change you. If his mindset is already there and you want to be content and complacent and living how you living, if you're not trying to live better, it's not going to work out. It's going to go left eventually. It's one of those things we have to do, ladies. We've got to do that. We've got to. You got to love yourself first. You got to love what you want to do, what you got going. If you're a businesswoman on this line today, you got to think about how you want to grow. Let me tell you guys this. In business, if you don't start trying to do something positive with your personal business, as far as your financial side, nobody's going to take you serious when you get out here and you want to expand your business. You want to get loans. You want to grow. How are you going to grow? It takes capital to grow. Nobody's going to invest in you if they don't see you investing in yourself. So this is what we're doing today, right? We're investing in ourselves. We're on this empowerment conference. We are investing in ourselves. That is the most important thing we can do. One of the last things that I wanted to tell you guys about was on June the 13th, coming up, I will be hosting a conference, a masterclass. Girls Just Want to Have Fun. And I'm excited about it because one thing that I noticed that we do sometimes, we're crabs in a barrel. We don't want to help each other. We don't want to empower each other. So I sell lashes, I sell hair, I have all these vendors. I don't want to tell you where I got my vendors from. I'm out here, I'm selling stuff, I'm not compliant. I don't have no business license, I ain't paying no sales tax. I'm just out here doing my thing on Facebook, on Instagram. And guess what? People want to see you do well, but not better than them. So you best believe they're going to try to tear your dream down. So I didn't have anybody to show me the way. I want to help people and I want to show them the way and what to do. So if you're interested in that, we'll get you that information as well. It's going to be just empowering and helping those who are in business move forward in their ventures themselves. I do want to tell you guys or show you guys, I have a book, Making Common Sense of Credit. And I think I'm going to be giving one of these away. But this book will help you to restore your credit yourself. Yes, I can help you. My company can help you, but this book will definitely help you, ladies. I just want you to feel empowered. If you have questions about whatever it is, credit, business, finances, please feel free to reach out to me. This is my
give the name of the book, Franchesca, and want to know.
It's Making Common Sense of Credit. You can purchase it from me. You can also find it online on Amazon, Walmart.com. You can get it as an ebook. You can get the paperback copy. But I do have letters in here that will help you. Everything. Follow me on Facebook. I have a credit group on Facebook, a couple of groups. I have a women empowerment group, That One Place Boutique, where we talk about women's health and women's feminine health. Just
tell them that hot product, baby. Go on, drop it. Look, while we talking about common sense in the bank, let's talk about common sense in the, you know what?
We got it. Look, whole woman's health, ladies. Whole woman's health. So if you guys haven't heard about Yoni Pops, we're going to introduce y'all to Yoni Pops soon.
Baby, the Yoni Pops be good. I might need to be a Yoni Pop distributor, baby. Them Yoni Pops be selling. You hear me?
Yes.
If y'all know about Yoni Pops, put them in the chat room if y'all know about it, baby. I be seeing them all over, girl. People sell them. They be like, they out like hotcakes. Like they just coming in, getting them.